You are listening to the Adult Learners Career Pathways Steps to Success podcast, coming to you from Mercer County Community College, the Community Education and Training Department, where helping our adult learners succeed is our number one priority.
Hello and Happy New Year, everyone. This is Kim, your host for the Adult Learners Steps to Success podcast. And on today's show, we have the pleasure of speaking with Peg Gould, the Assistant Director for the Community Education and Training Department at Mercer County Community College. Why don't we start off? Tell us just a little bit about yourself.
My role at the college is I am the Assistant Director for the Community Education and Training Department here at James Kearney campus of Mercer County in Trenton. I administrate the entire department of classes, students, staff, contracts, things of that nature. My background is in education. I'm currently in my 34th year in the field. I absolutely love it. There is nothing else on earth that I would like to do except help others with their English, with their career goals, with their reading, their writing, their math, getting their high school diplomas.
Let's take a minute and talk about the actual programs that are offered in your department. Do you want to start maybe by talking about the ESL program?
Our ESL program is really bouncing back strong. We have been back on the campus for in-person classes since September. COVID kind of had a negative effect in terms of enrollment for the students and participation and persistence in the class. But right now, we currently have ESL registration open. We have just under 250 ESL students scheduled to start with us in January. Some of those include our refugee resettlement neighbors who have come to the United States from different countries around the world, and they will be joining us through a facilitation through classes that we call High Flex. For our refugee population, we have a special programming that enables them to participate online while at the same time other students are here at the campus in Trenton live. So that's called a High Flex. It's a hybrid and it's an in-person, and in education that's what that's called, a High Flex. We also have ESL for healthcare at a learning level, and that class is facilitated only online, not even from a Zoom class. It is online through the Blackboard management system. Students receive assignments and they have a chat feature in there. So there's a lot of interaction available. And all of that English is for helping people to get introduced at a very elementary level to the healthcare field. We also have a brand new ESL opportunity, and even for our high school equivalency students too, called Healthcare Careers +1. And that is part learning through the Moodle system and part in-person learning. Students, it's intensive though. They're learning very in-depth vocabulary for healthcare careers. They're learning math for healthcare careers. They're learning about ethics of healthcare. They're really getting themselves immersed in the healthcare field, with the concept being when they finish this intensive program, they are then able to easily transition to a healthcare learning program. For example, ultrasound tech, phlebotomist, EKG tech, one of the programs that the college offers and has funding for, or they will also be able to interview and secure employment in the healthcare field.
Can you just tell us the Health Careers +1 program? How long does that program run?
That runs for about 12 weeks.
And what a great way to introduce yourself to different fields within the healthcare industry. I think that's an excellent program. What about our HSE?
Many people probably know HSE as GED, but HSE is the name for high school equivalency. That program is for people who have not completed high school and gotten their diploma, not for people currently enrolled in high school, for people who have left high school. Our program is an alternative to high school. So if someone someone is still in high school, should stay in high school for the full 4 years or until the diploma. Our program is a second option.
Okay.
Together with high school equivalency, we have free classes in person on Blackboard, fully online with the chat feature and never coming in or interacting with anyone. We will also be running a virtual class via Zoom in the evenings for people. We work with people with their basic literacy, basic math skills to be able to get them up to the level where they are successful with their high school equivalency tests and they get their diploma.
I think it's important. Some students are under the impression that they have to take for their GED, their high sets, task, any of the tests. They're under the impression they have to take it all at once. And that's just not true, right? I've had to tell students, finish a class and you feel confident, you sign up for that test because there's 5 parts to it. So take it as you learn. I wish them all the best with that. I know that can be challenging for some of the students. What about CTI?
The CTI is an abbreviation for Career Training Institute. We offer training that's primarily for older adults who have some work experience and they're laid off or unemployed or they're looking to change their field. We provide training opportunities for them in terms of computerized bookkeeping, medical billing and coding, culinary, which is kind of separate and on hiatus a little bit because of COVID. We also have administrative professional program for individuals who are looking to work as an administrative professional, administrative support specialist. A dated term is a secretary or administrative assistant. Someone who's working in an office, we have all kinds of trainings and certifications available for people in those programs.
So you would go through this program. At the end, if you succeed, you will end up with a certificate.
Absolutely.
That looks very nice on a resume to the students who are listening. How about Bridges? For some of us out there who don't understand the program, could you just explain it a little bit?
Bridges to Success is one of our baby programs because it's new. We received notification of funding for this program during the lockdown time of the COVID-19 pandemic. I contacted the funding partners that we had put in the proposal with. They said, even though we're all remote, let's do it. And this Bridges to Success is targeted for individuals who have been in at any point the foster care system. If you have been in the foster care system, you are assigned a special identification number through the foster system itself. That's what's required to be in part of that program. It's for individuals in or associated with the foster care program who are between the ages of 16 and 24. It is mostly for people who have not completed high school, although we're not limited to that. We do have people in the program with a high school diploma, but their skills are extremely low and they need a brush up or a hand up, not a hand out, a hand up to get their skills to a level that they need to go into their training, their college, their career of their choice. In fact, one of our biggest success stories from the Bridges program was a Bridges student came in, was a high school graduate, but did not have the math skills necessary to get into a college level program and really thrive. The Bridges program provided mentoring, a tutor, classes, and support for that individual. And that individual, in the course of 5 months, got the skills up and is in the second semester of college studies.
I love hearing success stories like that. That's a great program. Did we cover all the programs or is there anything else you wanted to add?
At this time, yes. These are the programs that currently exist. That's right.
Let me ask you this. How are we able to offer these programs for free?
Through generous funding. It means a lot of writing proposals. It means a lot of research, a lot of documentation, a lot of on your feet thinking, because they're all competitive. For example, the Bridges program had a huge number of applicants with a very small number of grantees or grants awarded. We were blessed enough to get the Bridges program, but the funding comes through the government, it comes through the county, the state, different departments, through the federal government. There's always something around. I'm constantly looking, or people will send me, either this staff or college staff will send me funding opportunity notices. So we're always on the lookout for funding. It's a fine line. Just because money is there doesn't mean we're going to shift the program and say we can do something that we don't already do. If the funding expectations don't align up with or enhance what we already do, I will not write for it. As the administrator of the department, I firmly believe in running quality programs, and money will follow, and not shifting and changing and altering programs to fit every type of funding that's out there, because that's a matter of chasing the money versus building quality programs. Quality programs have students and student goals and student success at the heart, and from there, the money will follow.
I'm sure there has to be some strict guidelines, though, in order to keep that money coming into the college to fund these programs.
There's a lot of reporting, a lot of expectations on the administration of the programs, and testing is a big part of any program. So people want to know, why do we always have to take a pre-test, and why do we have to take a post-test? And I just come to class, and isn't that enough? It is enough on one hand, but on the other hand, what we're doing is we have to show to the funders why money is worthwhile in our hands. How are we using our money to help people learn? The way we show that is through the test scores and skills attainment, which happens anyhow. We just need the numbers to provide to give back to the funders.
It does explain to the students why the CASAS testing is so important, and why we're pulling you out of class and bugging you and chasing you to get in and take these pre and post tests. It's all comes into play with the funding. As the assistant director, and you've taught before as well, what do you expect from our new students and even from our existing students?
Well, in terms of the students and participating in classes, the big thing is don't sign up and then not show up. That is the number one thing. If you sign up, show up, attend, participate, try your best. And no one knows everything, but everybody in the classroom who's coming as a student has strength, has value, has skills, has worth. Each person has a different set of something that they bring into the classroom, which is what makes the classroom a very rich experience. And hopefully at the end of 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, there is a noticeable difference within yourself as a student. Have your goals set out, know what you want to accomplish, know, why are you coming to class? Why is this worthwhile? It gets really hard to hang on to continue to attend class when it's the bottom of January into February. It's cold, it's dark, it's ice, it's very cold outside. Then we have it's hot. Nobody wants to go out because it's hot or it's raining. It gets very important to say, no matter what the weather is, no matter what it's like outside, I'm getting out because my education is important to me. That's the most important thing from the students, and that you come here and that you try. Mm-hmm. No one expects somebody to be an expert in English and be the next best-selling author. That we definitely would hope that, but if that's not who you are coming through the door, that's okay, because that's not expected. Everyone says, well, I'll never learn science because I don't like science. I was testing somebody when I used to proctor high school equivalency exams, and called me over and I said, what's your question? And the person said, oh, I hate science. And I said, so thank you for sharing that. What's your question? I don't have a question. I just need to tell you I hate science. They said, okay, I can accept that. But part of the high school equivalency doesn't expect people to be scientists. You just need to know the material and answer the questions with it. For English, you don't necessarily need to go from speaking no English to complete fluency in 12 weeks. Language is an evolving skill over years. You get out of class exactly how much you put into it. Students can come and participate and give their best effort. We will go more than 50% of the way to meet them and help them go forward. Our classes here, we don't have people walking up around the room, throwing stuff around, calling out, cutting up. We just don't have it. You're adults, you're in college, an institution of higher learning. As such, we expect you to come here and learn. Present yourself as if you are ready. That means don't come into class with bedhead, last week's clothes on. Make sure that you get up and you get dressed, or you get off of work and you come in at the end of your day for our night classes, or you're coming in the afternoon and it's the middle of your day, or that even yourself, you look like you're going to school, meaning you have your backpack or your notebook or meaning a paper notebook, a pencil or a pen, a calculator if you need one, a dictionary if you need one, whatever else you need, you have that with you. Carrying that with you helps you to present yourself as a student to others, but you also feel like a student.
I especially like how you said in the beginning, please do not sign up for the class if you're not going to be able to attend. You have to have your goals in mind. You have to have things in order. Do you have childcare coverage? Do you have arrangements with work? There's a lot of things to think about. When you sign up and you don't show up, you took the seat of another student who maybe wanted to come.
You're right, too, in terms of having all these other important priorities in life kind of managed so that you have childcare. Well, childcare was closed today, or my mom always watched kids, but she can't do it now. Well, what is your backup? What is your backup to your backup so that you have Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C? What happens if you're going to class and the bus is late? What's your way to get to class?
Right.
What happens if you're on your way to class? This happens sometimes. We don't like it. It happens to all of us. The car doesn't start. There's a flat tire. How are you going to get to class? Mostly, it's a matter of prioritizing class at the same level as your job. How would you get to work if the bus wasn't running, if the car was broke, if something fell through on childcare, or if you don't feel well? Now we have COVID, so we have to be especially sensitive to all of those things. What is the backup and what is the backup to the backup?
You need a plan. You can't just do this on a whim. You have to have your ducks in order. You have to have a plan. I agree with you on that. Would you mind sharing with us maybe a particular story or several stories of a student or a situation that really touched your heart?
I have a lot. It's all beautiful because they're all symbols of people who persevered and pushed. I think of one student came through our HSE program maybe 12 years ago. This was a male. He had passed 4 sections of his high school equivalency exam. He missed his writing test passing score by maybe about 25 points. Then he stopped attending. Calls, outreach. I resorted to hitting the streets and asking people who I knew who knew him, have you seen him? Where is he? He should come back to class because we can help him. People get a little down that when you're not successful the first time, it's difficult to pick yourself back up. Finally, he came back through the door and I said, well, where were you? He said, well, I was thrown off a little bit. I was disappointed. I had to step back. This was about 3 weeks. He said, but then one morning I woke up and I said to myself, I didn't fail. This was just another opportunity for me to get the top score.
That's great.
The program. He was with us for another 3 weeks. He passed. He has his high school diploma.
It's just pushing through. There's always going to be road bumps. There's going to be something, or maybe even someone who is preventing you from going forward, but you just have to push through. I agree.
I had another student. He was older. He had passed 4 parts of his high school equivalency exam. He could not get over that writing. He came into our program and just kept going on. All I need is writing. All I need is writing. Well, you can't sit and write for 6 hours a day. We matched him with a one-on-one writing coach at the college from my department for 3 weeks. He took the writing test again. He successfully passed. Then we didn't see him or hear from him for a while, which is typical. Nobody's under obligation to stay in touch. But this was in August. He came back to visit again just at this time in December, several years ago. I said, well, what's going on with you? You got your high school equivalency. We never heard from you. What happened? He said, well, I found out on the Friday I got my diploma. By Monday, I had 3 different job offers.
Oh my God, that's great.
What's going on with that? Took a job working in a warehouse. I'm working 3rd shift. And I said, how do you like it? And I'm thinking he probably took this because I know 3rd shift has a little bit bump up in pay. And he said, well, I needed the money. And he said, I really don't like it though.
Okay.
He said, in fact, I hate it. So I said, well, you had these 3 jobs. Why did you choose one that was overnight other than the money? He said, because it freed up my daytime to let me be able to go to CDL school. Ms. Peg, here's my CDL license. I go on the road on Monday.
Oh, that is wonderful. See, and I love that we gave him that extra help. You matched him up one-on-one with somebody to help him pass that writing portion of his test. So as long as we're not going to give up on you, just don't give up on yourself. Like, that's what I'm taking away from all of this.
Even from our ESL, there is no shortage of stories there from people who have been in the country for 7, 8, 10 years, just have their citizenship in process. Mm-hmm. They come to us, they polish up their English, they work on their speaking, their pronunciation, they're answering questions, and they go through and they become citizens because that's one of their goals. For our ESL neighbors who are coming to us from other countries with careers in other countries, there are doctors, there are lawyers, there are accountants, there are payroll clerks, there are all kinds of jobs in other countries. Yet they find it difficult, if not impossible, to find employment in those fields in the United States. Our program helps to give them the vocabulary, the English, to be able to get up on their feet and then become certified and enter into those fields that they know and are experts in from their country. And it's so inspiring when you have someone who is here and was an accountant at home country and now is working as a housekeeper or a maintenance person and plugging it out day in and day out while holding on to those memories of being an accountant at home and wanting so bad a chance to have that here in a new life in the United States come through the English program. And now all of a sudden they sit and take their certification and are certified accountants in the United States. Absolutely breathtaking.
Yes. Again, we're not going to give up on you. Don't give up on yourself. Just keep pushing through. The department just gives so much support to the student. Reach out to your teachers, reach out to Peg, reach out to me, anybody. If you find that you're slipping, we'll help you. We will do the best we can to help you succeed. Don't just fall and then disappear. And talk to us first. Let us know what's going on. I think that that's very important. Communication is key, and everything is private, of course. Like, we're not sharing any personal information with anybody.
But I will share our department number, Kim. So
yeah, that would be great.
Give us a call. Our
Yes.
department number. Actually, what I'm going to do is share my office number. Anyone who hears this, who has a question, who has a need, can please feel free to call me. 609-570-3133. High school equivalency, career training, English as a second or other language, healthcare careers, warehousing careers, culinary, office administration, any of our programs, please give me a call. The number again is 609-570-3133. Even if you're starting class and, oh my goodness, my childcare fell through and now I don't know where to go or who to contact. I have referrals. I have a list of agencies, nonprofits, and support support networks throughout Mercer County, primarily located close to us in downtown Trenton, of places who will help you. Housing assistance, food assistance, utility assistance, childcare assistance, healthcare, all kinds of help. People come in and they have the best intentions to start class, and then life happens and has a habit to crash through just when you are getting up on your feet. Don't let it knock you off. Fall down for a second and say, I need help.
Peg, I cannot thank you enough for sharing all of this very valuable information with the students and offering your direct number. So if they have any problems, questions, road bumps, anything, they can reach out to you. Thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to be on the show today. Do you have any final words you want to leave us with?
Don't ever give up. It's never ever too late. And in this department, this is what we put forward. If you are in need, if you have not been successful in school, in learning, with whatever else is coming up, please come in. We help you up. We keep our hands on your back to help you to the way that you want to go. That's the strength of the department. That's the heart of the department. And if someone's looking for a place to come in to fail and to be unsuccessful, go to another place, because here we are all about student learning, student success, student support, and help.
Thank you very much for being on the show. I hope you have a wonderful 2022 along with all of the students. We have a whole year ahead of us, lots of challenges to face, lots of success stories, more success stories I want to hear at the end of the year. I hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim.